At the family reunion, my uncle said, "Isn't it time we controlled our women properly?" The words came out of Uncle Gary's mouth during dessert at the annual family reunion. About 40 of us were gathered at my aunt's lake house eating pie when he just said it. Casual, like he was commenting on the weather. I was 28, and sitting between my mom and my sister Emma, I felt them both go completely still. Around the table, every woman stopped mid-conversation, the kind of silence that makes your skin prickle. My dad laughed nervously and told Gary he'd had too much to drink, but Gary shook his head and said he was serious. That the women in this family had gotten too independent, too mouthy, and it was time the men stepped up. My cousin Jake nodded along. So did my brother-in-law, Chris. I glanced at my wife, Rachel, across the table. Her face was blank. Unreadable. Then my mom stood up, said she needed to check on something in the kitchen. My sister Emma followed immediately, then Rachel, then my aunts, Linda and Susan. Within 30 seconds, every woman over the age of 16 had left the table. The men sat there looking confused, but also kind of pleased with themselves. Gary was saying something about how women always get emotional when you speak truth. I excused myself to use the bathroom, passed by the kitchen and heard urgent whispers, saw my mom on her phone. Emma was writing something down. Rachel was nodding, her expression intense in a way I'd never seen. When I walked in, they all stopped talking. Mom asked if I needed something. I said I was just grabbing water. The tension in that kitchen was thick enough to cut. I went back to the table but couldn't focus on the conversation. The men were talking about sports now, acting like nothing weird had happened. But something was definitely wrong. An hour later, I found Emma alone on the back porch. Asked her what was going on with all the women. She looked at me for a long moment, like she was deciding something. Then she said, "Do you remember when I broke my arm when I was 14? I did. She'd fallen down the stairs at Grandma's house." Except Emma's voice went quiet. "I didn't fall, Tyler. Grandpa pushed me." I told him I wasn't going to keep quiet anymore about what he'd been doing to me since I was 9. My blood went cold. Emma kept talking, her words coming faster. Said it wasn't just her. Said Grandpa had done things to almost every girl in the family. And when they'd tried to tell, the men had protected him, made excuses, called them liars. I felt sick, asked why she never told me. She said she tried to tell Dad when she was 12. He'd slapped her across the face and grounded her for a month for speaking badly about his father. Emma said the women had been meeting in secret for 3 years now, planning, gathering evidence, recordings, medical records, testimonies from 17 different girls across 4 decades. They'd been waiting for the right moment to expose everything. And Gary's comment at dinner, that was the trigger. I asked what she meant by trigger. Emma pulled out her phone and showed me a group chat with 23 women from our family, messages flying back and forth. They were implementing something they called Protocol Red. My mom had already called a lawyer. Aunt Linda was uploading files to a secure server. Rachel was contacting a journalist friend. They'd been ready for this for months, just waiting for one of the men to say something that proved they hadn't changed. That proved they still thought they had the right to control women. I looked back through the kitchen window, saw my dad and Gary laughing, completely oblivious. Asked Emma what was going to happen now. She said, "In about 10 minutes, 2 police cars are going to pull up this driveway, and everyone is going to find out what kind of family we really are." I heard sirens in the distance. Emma stood up, said she had to go back inside, that I needed to decide right now which side I was on. But when the police actually arrived and I saw who they were arresting first, I realized the women had been hiding something even bigger than I thought. And that's when everything I believed about my family shattered completely. The rest of the story is on my channel or linked below.